GM, it's Tuesday. We are back. I don't know, man. Omi, tell me, man. This weekend, I decided to turn my phone off, decided to go on vacation for the first time in 5 years that I've been in like fully every single day locked in. And the one weekend I go away, man, the one weekend I go away, I have no internet service, nothing. I get back to the hotel, I like lay my feet down, I open up my laptop just to see some emails, and dude, market just crashed. Like everybody's out of a job. My McDonald's application finally came through, and they're like, "Hey, you have an interview next week." Like, dude, it was just one of the most wildest week. And we're back Tuesday to, "Hey, sorry guys, we're back. Just little mishap with my tweets. Cool, bro." What is going on in today's space? What is going on in today's world? How are you doing today, man?
I'm doing great considering the volatility in the markets at at a scale we've never seen before. This feels new, doesn't feel unexpected. But that will teach you, Jorge, for trying to take a break when we are going to altcoin season. So we can't leave our screens, right? 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. We just can't leave our screens at this point. Kaizen's account actually has an automated price alert bot, and I've never seen it just go off like literally at this many posts in like the span of like 6 hours. It was crazy. But I hope our listeners weren't one of the ones that got liquidated really badly. And I think it was for me it was especially bitter because I was really hoping for Friday. I think a lot of us were hoping for good news from the ETF approval side. So, unfortunately that didn't happen. So let's see how it goes. How are you, Jorge?
Dude, so did you think that the bot was broken at one point? Because you're just like, what the hell's going on? Like, why is it like just spitting out so many information?
Dude, I'm based in Asia, right? And this was happening at the craziest hours at night, and I just could hear my phone vibrating, and I was like, "It's not important. It's not important." Until 6 a.m. in the morning, I'm looking at it, and just like, "What the? I should have woken up for this, right?" So yeah.
Dude, I feel the same way, man. It's just been like one of those things where I'm just like, what is going on? But, I don't know about you. At this point in my life, I've said this to friends, and I say this to people on stream all the time. If I ever go to an amusement park, if I ever want to ride a roller coaster, I'm going to tell them I don't want a seatbelt. I don't want any protective. Like, I want to feel some sort of rush. Like,
Right.
don't give me the protection. Because if I fall off the roller coaster, maybe. Because I'm in crypto. I don't wear a seatbelt in crypto. This thing is the wildest ride you will ever have in your life. And being in this space, it's just never a dull moment, right? It's never a dull moment. But here's the thing to it. You're an OG. You've been in here. You've been in this space for many, many years. You guys have been killing it with what you guys have to offer. But you guys have always been at front of mind to understanding where the audience is going, how the audience is shaping, and what does the audience need. So give us that 411 on where Kaizen is today, what you guys are really working on right now.
Yeah.
And how is it and why is it that we all should be able to say, hey, I better turn my notifications on for Kaizen today because this is the bot that I need at 6 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah, for sure. So in a nutshell, Kaizen is basically the ultimate onboarding platform as well as opportunities explorer on Solana. We started off with NFTs, as you can see on my shirt here, NFT. But we completed our NFT build last year, and this year we spent the entire year just building out data aggregators for all the different opportunities in the space. So today we have 28 different tools covering not just NFTs, trading, lending, and all that, but also tokens, DeFi, DPIN, airdrops, quests, bounties. The reason is because in our experience in the last 2 years, we realized that instead of trying to think about, like how we think the onboarding process for everyone should be like, we actually went back to the drawing board and we realized that, there are two assumptions here to be made. Number one, literally everyone that we know and we think will come to the space is here to make money, right? And number two, people intuitively are motivated and interested to learn about something if it presents an opportunity to make money. And so we kind of pivoted from just focusing on onboarding education to be more like an explorer hub for all the different opportunities. No matter what you're looking at, this is a very good ground zero for you to get exposure, for you to understand how these things work and grow from there. So yeah, that's where we're currently at. And I'm very happy to say that as of last month, we finished our entire build for the base platform for all the opportunities on Solana. The only one that I think we are looking to do, and the one that is left on our pipeline for that specific phase is advanced yield. But other than that, all the base opportunities on Solana is on our platform. Our Kaizen Academy actually has about 64 courses right now for free for you to actually learn about these opportunities as well. So yeah, check us out.
What do you think is the main sticking point or the reason for Kaizen, right? Like as somebody that's giving somebody I say, hey, a lot of people are joining crypto right now. They don't know where to start, right? But besides the not knowing where to start, there's also a not knowing how to start, right? And then there is a not knowing what to do once you start. Of when do I sell? When do I buy? How do I stay on the meta? How do I know what's the next opportunity? And then how do I know what's real or not, right? There's just so many things that get factored into this opportunity of discovery platform. But how does the user, what's the journey like that? Where do you see Kaizen really shining?
Okay, so the first, in my opinion, the best starting point would be our Kaizen Academy, where we actually have mostly basic courses for you to wet your toes and try and get a basic understanding of what crypto is, what Solana is, what DeFi is, and how do you do these things like trading, staking, liquidity pools, right? Lending, all that stuff. But honestly, I think you and I both know, and anyone that has spent a meaningful amount of time in crypto knows that crypto is very much a pay to learn kind of journey, right? You have to make mistakes. Unfortunately, the biggest tip I have for you is understanding the concept of reward to risk, right? Because you will make mistakes. No one goes in and makes 100% profit with no loss, right? You will make mistakes. The trick here is understanding, like for every exposure that you have, for every risk that you undertake, are you getting a meaningful return, potential rewards there? And that will help you create a sustainable kind of journey for you as you continue to grow in this space. Second thing is obviously, like your socials are very important. Whether it's your, who you're following on Twitter, which Telegram groups you're in, your friends are very important, right? Like the friends you actually get to know in the space. These people help you grow because everyone has different experiences and you have to have a very open mind. But Kaizen Academy is a very good starting point. And the way that Kaizen Opportunity Hub is structured is that we have a 3-step process where on an entire sidebar, every single link is basically a different kind of opportunity, right? To expose you that, there's such a thing as liquidity pools, or there's something called lending. You click on it. Number 2 is we give you a 1-sentence explainer there of what it is, as well as the link to the course. So if it's interesting to you, that 1-sentence explainer, you can click and learn more. And number 3, for every tool, we have a huge dashboard aggregating all the different platform data for that specific thing. So for liquidity pools, for example, we currently prove from obviously Meteora, Orca, Radium, and so you are able to find the best yields. But I mean, in this space, honestly, it's all about the experience that you can get. Are you getting as much experience as quickly as possible and as cheaply as possible? That's my biggest advice.
Yeah, and I think even going further, right? Like the day-to-day aspect of it, right? Because I think it's great to tune in on a Tuesday, but tomorrow might be something different. Thursday might be something different. Friday might be December. And if I miss a day, is the world going to crash, right? But you're saying, hey, there is ways to say you don't have to tune in every single day. There is a way to kind of just, hey, hit the relax button for a second, carry on with life. You guys have found a way to aggregate in a way to educate all of us in the sense that, hey, these are how it's going to be filled on a day-to-day basis. So I think that's really, really cool. I think it's something that's unique, and it's crazy that it's not heard about more often, right? Because I think we've talked about this so many times in Web3 of the education barriers, the infrastructure barriers, the understanding, and it's I can't believe no one's tried to so much solve that, right? And I mean solve that in the sense that solve it with the big partners, the big players in the space, because there
Correct.
are a lot of little partners that have tried to figure out education, but they need to partner with the big names to be able to get this mass forward. And
Yeah.
go for it.
No, in my opinion, I think the issue is that you rightly fully pointed out that there's a lot of attempts here, but I think that the attempts all have different like failure points. Number one, a lot of these educational hubs try to make it a marketing platform, right? Instead of focusing on the core concepts or making it as basic as possible, they use it as a place where they other projects can pay to like have a course on that platform, promoting an airdrop or a sign up bonus. Other platforms try to be too technical, right? And a lot of newcomers just aren't ready to like learning about liquidity pools. They don't really have to go so deep into the smart contracts, right? Like, and the third one is that unfortunately, a lot of newcomers in the space, in fact, a lot of veterans in the space as well, would only do something insofar as it's incentivized, right? So I think those three are the main reasons why a lot of the platforms out there, I guess a lot of them can show very strong active user numbers, but I think the overall impact on the space might not be as significant as we can hope for. Yeah.
You have me thinking further beyond like the impact right now, but the impact as well of knowing what's the rug and what's the managing the risk, as you would say, right? Because that is just another aspect of all of it. You can't give financial advice at the end of the day. No, I know that. But giving people how to understand financial advice or how to mitigate the risk and why not to go all in on one thing, understanding the steps to step, I think is another thing that you mentioned just now that really kind of had me sparking and thinking like, man, like the things you don't learn about in school, right? Like you go to school for all these years and it's like you're learning all these other things, but they don't teach you about life, the everyday life and the everyday managing money. And I think
Yeah.
you're here kind of even saying like elaborating further of like, look what happens when you go down the rabbit hole.
Yeah, 100%. Like I'm fortunate enough. So a bit of my background is that I spent almost 8 years in banking as well as investment research. So a lot of this, I come to it from a non-trader mindset. I come from like a fundamental analysis kind of mindset, and that's been very helpful for me. But obviously, core concepts like portfolio managing, risk managing, sourcing for alpha, these are definitely up my alley, and that's what I try to break down into fundamentals for all our users, right? Because I think you don't have to be a very advanced trader or very technical kind of investor to be able to succeed in this space for sure. But you need to ground yourself. You can't be chasing every meta, every FOMO feeling you have in your heart. You need to be disciplined, right? Our biggest enemy, honestly, is our own greed, right? Because greed makes us careless. Greed makes us just forget about our portfolio, forget about risk. And that honestly, like the assumption you have to make here is everyone in the space is out to get your money, right? That's the safest assumption that you can make, other than the assumption that you will lose all your money that you put into crypto. Those two are the biggest assumptions you have to have. So the only thing you can control is what you do, right? No one is forcing you to press a buy button or a deposit button, right? It's really about getting an experience on understanding, how, like, is this project good? Is this a risk that I should be taking? And yeah, that's just something that we can't teach you, right? It's something that you have to grow by yourself as well.
Yeah, it's funny you say that, the greed, right? Because look, man, I was just at the casino this weekend while I was on vacation. I 10x easily. I was up 10x. I was all like, on the table. I thought I was, the next freaking, whatever. Then my wife comes over and she's like, all right, we gotta go. And I'm like, all right, cool. So then I just was like, I went all in, and she's like, what are you doing? And I was like, gotta go all in. Like, this is it. Like, this is how you manage risk. And she's like, you're crazy. And I was like, oh, okay. Lost it all. Walked out. And then she's like, what was the point of that? And I was like, you gotta go, like, it's the last play. Like, it's either the Hail Mary or not. So managing risk, yeah, man, greed, totally. It gets to me every time once you get to that final stage. You are currently gonna have some massive alpha news coming out with these NFT launch and all this stuff. What is the 411? Like, how do we get involved? Like, how do we get more how do we make sure we turn the notifications on for Kaizen? How do we make sure this is the time like we're all paying attention? Gaming is about to go into its super cycle as we're probably seeing it all over. There's a lot of great games coming to market right now. We're going to be launching our season pass 1 shortly. But before we even get into it, we've had a lot of people wondering and discovering, hey, what else is on the Solana ecosystem? What else should I do within the Solana ecosystem? Kaizen's been one that's come up in the name several times. You guys have something coming up. Tell us a little bit about that 411.
Yeah, so in a nutshell, our NFTs are called Kaizen no Sekai, which means in English, the world of Kaizen. We believe that this will be the most useful NFTs for any Solana power user out there. And when I say Solana power user, I mean users that take full advantage of the ecosystem, right? The way we kind of break down that utility is in 3 different categories. The first one is in terms of, we believe we have unmatched alpha. Number 1 is because we are the biggest aggregator of all the data on opportunities in the space across all verticals, right? And with that in mind, we also have this Telegram bot where any NFT holders that have linked their Telegram would be able to receive real-time opportunities via direct to their own Telegram accounts. The second one is actually our portfolio tools. So as I mentioned, I have spent quite a bit of time in banking and investment research, and even though I wasn't a portfolio manager, I kind of understand the necessity of grounding a portfolio. And in this category, we have 4 main tools that will come up shortly after the launch. The first one is obviously advanced portfolio tracking. Number 2 is daily portfolio updates. Number 3 is personalized risk alerts tailored to your portfolio so that you're always in the know of any event happening on Solana that could affect your portfolio. And the last one is this amazing generate assessment button on your portfolio that will actually give you, line by line, like different little tips for you to optimize your portfolio to maximize your gain as well. And the last category would be community perks. This one, I can't really share much details right now, but just imagine us being not just the biggest opportunity explorer on Solana, but also having one of the biggest networks because we're a super OG platform. The community will be able to take advantage of a lot of opportunities from that alone. Yeah. So, again, if you are a Solana Power user, I do think that you should consider picking up a Kaizen NFT. Not financial advice, obviously, but for the utility part, I think you're gonna enjoy how much better your lives and your workflow on Solana is gonna be.
It's almost like the all-inclusive membership card to everything on Kaizen, So like that just to me sounds awesome, man. Well, that's awesome to hear it. What sparked that like idea to bring something like this to market, right? Like, what's your what are the users? What's the feedback there? Like, what that kind of said to you guys? Hey, like we want to provide more. We want to build this exclusive list, the VIP list. Crypto's all about exclusivity, right? Crypto loves that. I think fitting in this in makes a lot of sense. But what was that spark with you guys?
So once we finished the first 2 phases, right, of the educational platform and the opportunity explorer, the base versions, we realized that there's so much data here that could play around. And as someone that has been on Solana since day 1, right, for the last 4 years, there has always been a lot of ideas for different tools, whether it's portfolio tools or alpha tools that I always wish there was. And surprisingly, after 4 years, there still aren't like proper solutions for these things. So because with the data, to me, it was a very organic, decision to be like, okay, why not we build these tools? And as things turned out, a lot of these tools are super expensive and intensive, right? The amount of tracking we do on each portfolio, and we realized that we can't everything on Kaizen up to this point for the last 3.5 years has been free. But because these are such intensive and complex tools, we couldn't offer it for free for the wider Solana community. And then so the team discussed, and I was like, I know NFTs aren't sexy anymore, but why don't we just do it? Because number 1, we get it to a controllable size of community, and number 2, we get hopefully a community that supports our grander vision of trying to democratize and make education and analytics free for the Solana ecosystem. So hopefully we kill 2 birds with 1 stone, and I'm really excited for this.
Yeah, no, man. Like I love that idea, right? Like, how do you find somewhere a controlled group? NFTs can do that, right? And at the
Yeah,
same time, maybe you'll come up with some creative JPEGs out of it, and then next
exactly.
thing you know, people are just aping in as well for the art, right? And
Yeah,
that's where it gets really fun, and it's all gamified at the end of the day. So, man, I think it's really cool. So I think like for us with gaming and gaming kind of coming into the super cycle, the discovery platform of what you've built is super interesting, and for us to understand more. And as gaming keeps continuing, do I believe gaming is my thesis, and the thesis of the gaming industry for Web3 at least is this is where normies will be able to onboard the most, right, through games, because
yeah,
games are just that easy.
yeah,
I think Kaizen makes that great compliment of, hey, not only will you onboard to gaming and the game
yeah,
will have token values, NFTs, and everything like that, but what else does that mean, and where can it go? I think that as you build this out, definitely games should be reaching out to you. Games should definitely want to partner with you guys in
exactly.
finding ways to say, okay, like Web3 gaming is playing two games. The
Yeah,
user for to actually play the game, and then the meta gamer that's actually playing the game to buy a token, sell the
yeah,
token, buy an NFT, sell the NFT. They're playing two games, right? And so it's like the projects itself need to find, hey, projects like Kaizen to work on the crypto side of it, and then of course go for game discoverability if that's on Steam, Epic, or through any UA user acquisitions, and make sure that they're attending or giving their audience the right the right like results, but feedback also to information that they need to be able to keep progressing within games. So I think like it's a really nice marriage.
yeah, 100%. Like it's interesting you brought it up because I think about 2 years ago I was actually looking at expanding to have gaming as one of our niche verticals on the platform. Today we don't have any gaming part of the platform because when we looked at it, we were like, you know what, gaming is a very different beast altogether, right? It's its own category, and it was, to me, anything worth doing is worth doing well. And because we couldn't commit as much resources as I expected us to have to commit, we decided to put a pin in it. But with this new Kaizen, what was interesting was when we actually came up for back to the drawing board of like how do we expand way beyond NFTs. It was interesting because what happened initially was I actually decided to think about creating a platform to introduce people to all the different opportunities in space, right? And the first thing I did, actually, I was at a cafe in Dubai waiting for my flight, and I was like, I had this massive sketchbook, and I started writing down all the different ways that we can make money, and obviously gaming was part of it, right? Joining a closed beta and hopefully getting airdrops or the whole like in-game economy and all that stuff. But then very quickly I realized that, you know what, even though I have like almost 100 different ways I can think of to make money in crypto, honestly, if we didn't kind of group it by verticals, right? Like RMA and meme coins and NFTs. Like if we looked at it from a wider lens, actually you can kind of group all opportunities in space in like 7 different ways, right? First you have the airdrop, the pre-sale, then you have the launch event, you have the post-launch event, which is post-launch trading, spot or perps if there is a market for it, and then you have the lending, you have the liquidity, and that is the same actually across any vertical. So whether you're a gamer, you still go, like from Web3 perspective, you still go through the exact same money making opportunity type as you would for a DeFi protocol, because very similarly, pre-launch is buying the pre-sale, getting whitelisted, participating in a beta to hopefully get an airdrop, again trading around the launch, post-launch you're trading the tokens. If the game allows you to stake, you can stake. If the DeFi protocol allows you to lend or liquidity, it's all the same. So on that same note, I do think it's made my thinking along how do we integrate gaming into Kaizen a lot simpler than just thinking that, oh, I need to carve out a separate tool altogether just for game launches and create like gaming reviews and bring on influencers. I think, I'm not sure if you think I'm going the right direction. I'm keen to hear actually.
Yeah, no, dude, I think like look, the opportunity is there, right? Like the thing is like, you know, crypto is this thing about attention, right? It's all about
Yeah,
attention. It's like, where does the attention go? And in gaming, like one thing that's happened is that like the attention doesn't stay here long, because games take a long time to build, right? Like it takes years to build good games, right? And to like answer what you're saying, it's like the patience in this crypto space doesn't allow for gaming to fully flourish, right? Like it doesn't, because think about it, man. Like we're looking at tokens, and I'm just like, all right, when's my 100x? When's my 10x? And like, how do I exit? Move on. When you look at gaming, it's like, oh, well, this game's gonna take 3 years, and you're like, 3 years? I'm not gonna hold a token for 3 years, right? Like that's just crypto, right? And so when you start like trying to figure out how do you separate fundamentals to investing, right? Like how do you separate yourself from like understanding why you're gonna drop, $100, 1,000, 10,000, 100,000, whatever that is, and you start saying to yourself like, whoa, well, this has a great team, they're building something that's unique, the IP, the blockchain aspect of it makes sense, it's going to power a marketplace, blah 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 blah. Like now you're defining something different, and at that point is there the attention for, hey, okay, I'm willing to wait 2-3 years, right? So I think like, man, it's one of those things where I think, will we get to it? I hope. I could tell you that the light at the end of the tunnel is getting brighter and brighter for us, because there's a lot of games that are progressing. Off the Grid is on PlayStation, Xbox. Like that is massive. That's where gamers live, right? Besides the Epic and the Steam, and you're seeing the results that they're having, right? And you're seeing like other games are going to start coming to market with Star Atlas, BR1, Low Life Forms, like Aurori, Mixed Mob, all these other games that are finally now like coming to the market with their products and having gamers enjoy it, and then enjoying the aspects of Web3. Like, whoa, man! Like to be here today from where we were a year ago or 2 years ago is huge, because it's no longer a talking. It's like, yo, let's play the game. Let's see if you have the skills. It's like talk the talk. Now we're walking the walk aspect of the life.
Yeah, I still like. It's funny you mentioned Star Atlas. I had the pleasure to meet Michael Wagner at one of the conferences, and I was telling him like, it feels like yesterday I was buying one of their first series posters, right? Before any of the ships even came out. And to see where the game has progressed to today makes me really excited, because it's true enough that was 4 years ago, right? And now it's like it finally had enough time to grow. And a lot of these games are the same, like BR1, Off the Grid, as you mentioned as well. We had them on our Twitter spaces as well. Like just a very fun time. As compared to 4 years ago, where every gaming project was selling us a pipe dream, right? It's like, oh, this is the going to be the next metaverse, or like right now it's really like a lot. We can tell who the more genuine or the more effective builders in the space are, and that to me is just so much more fun.
Yeah, man. I know we're coming around 30-minute marker here. What's the next 100 days look like for Kaizen? What's the call to action that you have for community? What's the call to action for partnerships? Like, why should people be sending you a DM right now to partner up with you? How do we partner up with you? Give us the 411 on that.
Got you. The next 100 days development-wise is to build out all the tools for our NFT launch. NFT launch is definitely happening in the next, probably within the next couple of weeks, to be honest. So that's our main focus, the immediate near-term focus, and then obviously after that will be the delivering on all the tools that we have already started working on. We are also regarding partnerships. Actually, that's a very interesting point. We have always prided ourselves as having one of the biggest networks in the entire space. The easiest way to illustrate this is through our Twitter spaces. We've done 39 Twitter spaces this year, covering different topics like DeFi, DePIN, AI, NFTs, building, community, and all that stuff. And we really had over 150 featured projects. I think one of the easiest ways to think of Kaizen, not the best, but one of the easiest ways to think about Kaizen as an opportunity hub is we make two assumptions here. Okay, number one is that everyone in the space wants to make money, right? As I mentioned just now. The second assumption is that there are a lot of projects, a lot of organizations or companies in the space that would love to give away incentives, right, or free money, as it may, for you to engage with them, to notice them, for you to like use them or support them. And one of the big reasons why Kaizen came into the picture is because we found it incredible how difficult it was to be in the camp A to find camp B, and that's where Kaizen kind of comes in as a matchmaker. That if you are a project looking to, if you're a legitimate project, a genuine builder, looking to get more exposure, looking to get more understanding of what you're building, and if we think that you're working on something cool that we feel that our community should know of, do reach out. We are happy to do to the space together, support your marketing. We are happy to like put you on Kaizen Academy. Obviously, to our users, we are very clear that we are not like endorsing or creating these projects as financial, investment opportunities. It's more like, oh, these guys are doing some cool DeFi protocol. Check them out. You make the decision whether how much you want to get vested in that journey on your own. But yeah, for partners, like we are here to try and support the entire ecosystem. That's the role that we play.
Bro, your back is gonna be hurting by the end of this for carrying us all, man. Man, that's super appreciative, super excited for what you're building, super excited to see more gaming come all the way to Kaizen as well. The next 100 days, the vibe, the vision, you gave it to us all. But man, will we see you in Abu Dhabi at the end of the year, man?
100%. I'm staying can see my monkey pillow right there. I'm staying at the Monkey Down Hotel. I already booked my tickets, so really excited to. I mean, I
Dude, please tell me you got the Monkey Down secret phone case, man.
Yes. Oh man, I'm so happy to see that. I wish I purchased one, but I didn't, unfortunately. I haven't opened my secret box yet, actually. I should get around to do that. But definitely we'll see you guys at Breakpoint. I try to make it every single year. Abu Dhabi, I think will be a very cool place to check out for the first time. And December should be amazing weather, from what I understand. But yeah, that's the main conference I'm looking forward to for the rest of the year.
Well, I'll see you at Abu Dhabi, and make sure you reach out to us when you're having that NFT launch so that we can help and participate and be part of that as well. We want to make sure we support anybody that's building on Solana. So, Omi, I'll talk to you, man. See you in December. See you in the launch. See you in anything else that's going on. If there's anything going on with gaming, you let me know. We need to participate with Kaizen.
No, you let me know. You're a lot more in tune. But yes, I appreciate you guys, man. Thank you so much for having me on the space. Thank you for your time. Bye-bye.
All right, brother. Bye.
See you.